monogamy and polygamy have always been a very controversial question, you see. And in Quranic Kareem, only in Surah Nisa, particularly in the context of Yatama, it has been given a choice to Muslim to marry more than one wife. Are there any other ayat in Quranic Kareem from where it is inferred, you see, that you are allowed 4 wives under all the circumstances? And not only from Yatama.
The Holy Quran mentions wives in plural in many places, indicating that it is an accepted state that there is a possibility of more than one wife for Muslims to keep. But in this particular instance, this is a very difficult verse, and you have rightly pointed out to the confusion arising out of this situation. A difficult verse for interpreters and translators, because they cannot separate the situation from the order. Although the tradition of Muhammad and the permission given very categorically by Muhammad, an interpretation of this verse having made by him himself, makes it clear that to permit having 4 wives is not conditional upon yatam. Understand this? The practice in Islam, the practice of Muhammad and his own interpretation of the verse tells us, and also references in other places about more than one wife, make it very clear that this permission is not conditional upon there being yatama, that is orphans. So the confusion facing the interpreters or translators is this, that this verse seems to say that if there are yatama, then you are permitted. Apparently this is the meaning. So this confusion can only be understood if you know that the Holy Quran was revealed piece by piece, according to the dictates of demand and situations. So this permission was given according to the most appropriate time that arrived. And that was the most appropriate time in the Muslim society, when the need for marrying more than once arrived. That is one way of looking at it. And the second way of looking at it is quite different, and I personally prefer to look at it from that angle. Unless this verse limited the number of wives to 4, there was no restriction on the Arabs to marry more than 4 times. So in fact it is not a permission from 1 to 4, it is a limitation from more to 4. As I see it, this is the correct explanation. A limitation is being imposed, because according to Arab society, a rich man could marry 100 times. According to Jewish and Christian religions, not their custom, but religion, they could marry 100 times too, or at least 99 times, as David did, peace be upon him. According to the Bible, he had 99 wives, and yet he was not satisfied and wanted the 100th one. And that he wanted to misappropriate, according to the biblical story, which is totally false and wrong as we believe it. Tried to misappropriate from one of his generals, and one of the most faithful generals. And he played a trick upon him, sent him to war so that he could be killed, and then he could complete the number 100. This is all hocus pocus, we don't believe, but they believe. That is the point. So according to the belief of the Jews before Muhammad and the Christians before Muhammad, according to the Old Testament, the law of Moses, this was permissible. And the Arab practice also spoke of as many wives as you could afford. So this was a restriction imposed, not a permission. And a restriction not only which speaks of 4 wives, but also it further restricts to 1. That is the import of the verse, which is completely missed by the mullah. They enjoy the permission, but don't understand the direction of this verse. It is from many to 4 and from 4 to 1. Because in both places, in the beginning and in the end, this verse is sandwiched by 2 conditions. In Allah tufsidu fil yatama, when khiftum Allah tufsidu fil yatama. If you are afraid that you will not be able to dispense justice regarding the orphans. So justice is mentioned in the beginning as the motive factor, motive force. The raison d'etre of this permission, if you call it a permission, then justice is the most important fundamental thing which is to be borne in mind. And in the end, after having spoken all about it, the Holy Quran again repeats Allah Ta'ala. What is the full verse? In khiftum Allah Ta'ala. I know this, I have got the idea, but I don't want to recite the Holy Quran incorrectly. So if somebody is sure, he should recite. Otherwise the meaning is very clear. The point is, I'm not debatable at all, that when this subject is finished, again the Holy Quran makes it very clear that you are only permitted to marry 4 times if you are positive that you will be able to dispense justice between the 4 wives. No, that is the first time. I'm now talking of the last. In the end, it is between the 4 wives. It is now, in the end, this verse does not mention yatama at all. It only speaks of 4 wives and says, because if you are afraid, in the beginning it says, if you are afraid that you will not be able to dispense justice to the orphans, you are permitted to marry once, twice, thrice, 4. Finished. In the end it says, and now if you are afraid that you will not be able to dispense justice among the 4 wives, then wahidatan, then you are permitted only to marry once. So how many men are there who can be just to even 2 wives? Knowing these examples, you can count them on fingertips, or maybe on 1 finger perhaps, if your knowledge is concerned. And that also would be debatable, because most of the cases which go to qaza tell us that most people are incapable of dispensing justice. Fairly treating 1 wife and also the other one equally. Even 1 wife is not fairly treated. That's the question, main problem. You see? So to misunderstand this verse is to misunderstand Islam and the system of permission and things. So as I like to see it, and I'm quite certain I'm right in that approach, I look at this verse from many to 4 and from 4 to 1, and more often than not, it will be left only, a moment would be left only with 1. That would be this choice. Very rarely you will find such people who can be just to all wives equally.